coming to you live from the Village in the Sky. This is Soft Power Hour. Welcome, everyone, to the Church of Soft Power. My name is Siobhan, and I am one of the founding artists of our lay-led Church for the Spirits of Creativity, Connection, Care, and Change. Soft Power Hour is our live stream monthly service gathering here on the first Monday of every month on Soft Power TV for an hour of connection with our community, our breaths, bodies, and spirits. And I'm joined live tonight by my co-founders, Midori and Dr. Kiki, who will now tap us into the soft power frequency.
Hi, everyone. I'm Dr. Kiki, and it's so great to be back. Last month, I was joining from the chat, and so it's really, really beautiful to be back in this space and to be able to offer this opening, tapping into the frequency, starting with more of a somatic grounding before we get into more of the vocal things. Our co-founder Flo is joining us from the chat. And so many of the things that I'm going to be sharing tonight are things that I've learned from Flo, as she is my Qigong professor and teacher, and all the things movement, intuitive movement related. And so thank you. We all got bangs since the last time we met, so I appreciate that, Ela. But yeah, so just inviting everyone to start connecting with their breaths, their body, and feel free to express through any other sounds that might want to come through during this time as well. But just inviting folks to first start, we're going to begin by breathing in, lifting the arms up over the head, looking up at the sky, and exhaling your air, bringing the arms down to the ground, looking down at the ground. And we'll do that 2 more times, lifting the arms up, looking up at the sky, and exhaling all of your air out, looking down at the ground. Last time, in through the nose and out through the mouth. And then just inviting other movements such as shoulder rolls. I'm starting my shoulders going backwards, switching directions, moving them forwards, bringing any movement that you'd like into the hips and spine, bringing that fluidity and flexibility into the spine is so important to our nervous system health, releasing tension and anything that we might be holding in the vertebrae itself that holds and houses our nervous system. And then just inviting us now to focus more on our neck. So looking up at the sky, just isolating the neck, and then looking down at the ground, connecting your movements to your breath, looking up at the sky and down to the ground. One more time, looking up to the north and down to the ground, to the south. And then coming back to the middle, to neutral position, and then looking over either your left or right shoulders. Slowly moving the neck, connecting it to your breath as well. Calling in the east and west. And then when you're ready, feel free to connect all 4 corners, all directions. Breathing in as you look up at the sky, exhaling your breath as you look down at the ground. Doing that a couple more times in the same direction. Inviting you to switch directions now. Again, exhaling the breath as you look down, inhaling as you look up at the sky. Inviting spaciousness into the neck and the throat, no matter what part or position your neck may be in. And just bringing us back to neutral. If you'd like to do any tapping or any other sorts of self-massage, connecting with the body around the arms, the heart space, your legs, giving the belly a bit of a massage. Bringing the hands up to the jaw for a little extra massage. Today has felt a little bit tender and emotional for me, so I noticed that when I am having more of those types of days, I tend to clench my jaw a little bit more, so I'm feeling a little extra tension here and below the chin in the base of the tongue here, so that can be a helpful massage to help release. The tongue is actually very thick, and so this fleshy part underneath our chin is the base of our tongue. So even stretching the tongue, letting it hang out, perhaps doing a lion's breath, a dragon's breath, as we do here at Soft Power, bringing the hands to the temples, the scalp, the forehead, and third eye to release any other tension or pressure that you might be feeling. Allowing any yawning to come through. And all of these deep breaths, the yawning, the sighing, are all ways that we can connect and stimulate the vagus nerve, which allows us to regulate the nervous system and get into states of rest and digest. So to continue with that, feel free to do any other movements that might be supportive. I see Bonnie doing some shaking and just inviting some humming if you haven't yet used more of the voice tonight. Doing some motions like chewing gum to keep kind of opening up those articulators and muscles in the face. Imagining eating your favorite snack. And then finishing our vocal practice with some lip buzzes or tongue trills. And as the voice doula, just reminding everyone that our voice, these deep breaths, these are all ways that we are stimulating the vagus nerve because it's connected. The voice and these vibrations that we're creating with our voice stimulate that vagus nerve and allow us to come back into a state of regulation. And so our final practice to tap into the frequency tonight is going to be our vocal toning practice. We'll do 3 tones together, inviting folks to join in unison on the first one. And then on the second and third tone, finding a harmony, another frequency or vibration or sound to also express into the space. And based on the system that we use in the Soft Power Choir space, I'm just inviting us to connect with the chakra vocal toning system, and the vowel that I'm feeling tonight is the ah, which is connected to the heart. So feel free to place a hand on your heart if you'd like to connect with that space or any other vowel sound or vibration that might want to be expressed tonight. And wherever you're at, just inviting you to exhale all of your air out. We'll breathe in together here. On our second tone, calling in any intentions, personal intentions for tonight's ritual, calling in our ancestors or other guides that may be supportive to our journeys tonight. And for our third tone, just sharing gratitude for this community, for this opportunity to connect tonight, and for all of the folks that are able to join us live and watching the replay. Thank you for being part of our community here at the Church of Soft Power. You are now tapped into the soft power frequency.
Thank you, Dr. Kiki. I should have done that like 8 hours ago. Honestly, I feel so much more present after, like Kiki was saying, a very tender day, tender week. I've been reflecting a lot about just how to show up while grieving. That is a big part of my journey to becoming a soft power co-founder, and it just proves more and more necessary and present with every year, every season. Um, and I want to invite everyone at this time to drop your intentions, wishes, prayers into the energy bank, be it prayers for tonight, intentions for tonight, or in general that you want to uplift. For me, I've been in a grieving space of my friend Jean, who transitioned to become an ancestor, a transcestor. Um, and that's just been really heavy on my heart as there's someone I've known since my youth. And so grieving friends is never easy. And yeah, grieving in general is never easy. So uplifting them and inviting you all to also share names, intentions for yourself in the chat, as I know I'm not alone. And tonight, this is in the deck of the season, and I especially love it because it is the Offerings Oracle by Caitlin Grania, who is a member of Church of Soft Power. And I was just thinking, we're gonna need more church members to make Oracle decks to throw it in here because it just feels really right to use something made by one of I don't know someone connected with the frequency. And so this is the intention the spirits have for us tonight. And our card is Trust. Which is exactly what Midori raised prior to this of energy she was feeling to tonight. And so she's going to give her sermonic message in a bit around that. But the message coming through right now is trusting the moment. I've been feeling like I've been in limbo and like floating in the liminal between moments, between timelines. And I think that's a collective experience right now. We've been here like world building together, building our reality without full confirmation or blueprints of what's on the other end of this. And last month, we talked a lot about shedding from binary thinking and this linear thinking that it even means that there is an endpoint to where we're headed, that we're going from A to B as a collective. And really, it's trust right now. And so this is really really comforting to me. I already feel myself a little emotional feeling this come through from the spirits because there's so much trust imbued in this process of life, as well as really here at the church. um, Building this church, co-creating this church is such a process of trust building. We are constantly pointing to the quote from Adrienne Marie Brown, I believe, or at least as we've understood it through emergent strategy, of moving at the speed of trust. And that's really been what shaped what's emerged for the church. It's shaped how we show up and commit to the church because the reasons are not, they're not financial. We're all volunteer in this, and yet we show up for this as it's, our as a full commitment, as a full-time commitment. And I think arriving today, sending out that email that it's the last soft power hour of the year, it for me I feel like this process of ritual, this commitment to ritual has really just help me hold trust in my body. Um, and beyond reason and logic, that's really where we're at right now, is pulling our resourcing, pulling our fuel source from somewhere different than maybe the motivators that have usually propelled us through our goals, be it through our careers or um, personal life choices. So, reading, I'm going to read this one here from God is Her Oath. I pray that I continue to trust Creator and Self, that it continues to strengthen and guide me to becoming. I love that. Thank you. Love Merrick says, calling in collective liberation, complete resourcing of soft power, living in divine alignment, and receiving my blessings in all areas of my life. Uplifting that. Gratitude and blessings to all beings who choose to be kind, gracious, and understanding. Yes. Until Asian Chick says, like it's December, tell me about it. I've been doing a lot of time with my family of origin, and today I was just like tripping out about time because, yeah, I know it's all malleable. We have more and more evidence coming out about how time just truly is not real, linear, solid, all of that. And I guess it just happens like every year. Every additional year I get to see on Earth, I'm like, oh my gosh, these years are moving quicker and quicker. So blessed that we made it to December, blessed that we're here together and taking a breath for trust. As I now pass it back to Kiki to continue on with this energy. She's going to offer us some sound medicine tonight and just encouraging everyone to stay connected to your body, give yourself some gentle movement, self massage, as well as hydration as Kiki comes back to center stage.
All right, I'm just going to audio setting here. Hopefully you can hear the bowls and the voice. Feel free to pause me if the sound or audio isn't coming through. And you might also hear little baby sounds in the background, so we'll see if we'll get through this together. So just inviting everyone again to connect with their breath, their bodies, and this message of trust. Trusting that we have everything that we need within us to continue on our paths, on our journeys. That we will be provided the guidance, wisdom, protection needed for us to continue forward. Inviting folks to rest, receive, and also feel free to express through your own soul's unique frequency any sounds that might be supportive during this time.
Taking a breath to integrate that. Voice magic, sound magic. That was beautiful, Kiki. It's really what I needed. And Siobhan, I really needed to hear that message too. It's just so funny how we're always like tag teaming. Someone's knocking on my door. I feel like I'm in my uncle season. I have my toothpick. I have my very NB haircut. And I'm here for a sermonic message. The big theme that is funny that it's coming in right now is around surrender. Surrender has been a really big theme for our team over the past couple year or past year and a half. As many of you know, we had produced an event called Surrender back in October of 2024. And that whole process to me was such a testament of what Siobhan was talking about around trust. And trust is hard though when you don't know what you're surrendering to, but you don't have the regulation practices in order to like allow your body to feel safe in that process. And so the message that's been really coming through for me lately is as we transition into these colder months, and these, at least where I'm based, and I know Kiki is based as well, me and Siobhan, it all of a sudden got like frigidly cold here. And I'm like, wow, I really need to honor the season, honor the transition of these winter months. And what I've been doing lately has just been like, my body needs to be held by the earth, and I need to literally like lay face down, like I lay face down on my bed or on the floor. And it's just this like feeling of being held by the earth that I really need right now. I really need to feel held. And I don't live around people who can immediately give me, physical touch. So that's the most accessible way that I've been able to receive like that physical like pressure on my body. And that practice of rest has like been such a journey, because I hear so many other parts hopping in when I lay down to rest sometimes, being like, well, you need to be more productive, or there's a lot more things on your plate and you really need to get to that. And I've really just been honoring this period now of I need to lay down. I need to integrate. There's been so much that has been happening in my life. And I've been so in this period of a lot of creation and output that I need to take this time to really integrate into the body, and not in a way that's necessarily like intellectual, but more just like, can I rest and receive? And even in my dreams and my sleep, like trust that the process is still unfolding, even when I'm not able to comprehend what the next move is. And that feels like such a big truth right now to me, in a practice of trust that is continual for me, especially with like the inundation of so much information. I've really had to like be so conscious with my social media consumption and media consumption in general, because it's so easy to be like stuck scrolling, stuck inputting so much information. And I think specifically because I follow so many really brilliant practitioners, everyone's always sharing about their experiences, and it's so easy for me to take on and like see everyone as a mirror, and relate their experiences to mine. And the truth that I've been sitting in lately is that while that's really helpful, there also is this, think, very clear message that everyone's truth is also not my truth. And I have to like sit and like, what is my authentic truth at this moment? And how do I still integrate information that's coming in from the world while still honoring like what I believe is true for me in this moment? And only I know that. Only I have the discernment needed to make decisions and move from that place of choice. And at the end of the day, I'm also allowed to change my mind when I do make those decisions. And I think that's also been a part of my healing, of learning, like, if I make a decision now, I can also change my mind. And I have, as long as I use my voice, I can I can move with that knowing that changing my mind is also not a bad thing. It's also part of life. And there's never going to be a point in which I arrive at the place where I'm like, yeah, I'm good. I'm healed. I have nothing else to work on. I have nothing else that's going to come my way that's going to disrupt. And I think that arriving here at this moment, being here with y'all every time, every Monday night, through this alter ego process with the cohort that we've been guiding through this journey, I'm reminded of that. It's like we're constantly these beings who are transforming. And what is the constant, though, is the rituals. What is the constant is the commitment that I have to this community, the commitment that I have to my friends and my family and the people that I choose to love and choose to show up for every day. So yeah, it's been such a journey. I think that's the message of it has also been this process of finding like what structures support me to find my flow, and that it isn't necessarily what I've learned growing up as a kid or in school. It has totally been about seeing my life as these series of rituals and how can I build creative structures that support my flow, my unique flow. And how do I like have enough discipline to show up for them every day, but also allow those to shift and change with the seasons as well. So that was a lot of different elements, but it is all going back to trust, like trusting ourselves, trusting our bodies, trusting the people that we have built relationships with to like voice when things do need to shift and our capacity shifts, and trust in our unique frequencies, and trust in what we're building and we're called here together to build. So yeah, that's the message. Turn it back over, I think, to Bonnie.
Thank you for that super necessary message. Thank you, Kiki, again for the sound bath. I felt a lot of like pelvic floor and low back things releasing, and I like what Ela said here. Stagnancy and lineally, calling it death, even if the physical heart keeps beating. Yeah, we get so many opportunities to transform and rebirth. And I know there's a lot of like astrological aspects to that and why it's this moment. We just came out of Scorpio season, which really is always this season of surrendering to transformation and rebirth. And I just feel really excited by what's coming, while also just like constantly reminding myself to stay in the present here for this moment and the lessons that are like just in like the day to day and in every breath. And so we are at our testimonial testimony uh, section of the service. And the testimony of the spirits wanted today are a little throwback to our last alter ego show, Summer Lovin'. And so if you're new here, if you're just tapping in with us for the first time, we have a program called Alter Ego, and that concept was brought to us by Dr. Kiki. We've really been in the story flow on our Substack, so subscribe to that if you're not already. And I really encourage you to read the Journey of an Alter Ego story series going on right now. Kiki really has been taking us on this journey alongside taking our cohort of about 20 performers on a journey together in our very first full curriculum cohort for our variety on December 14th. But the birth story of Alter Ego shows came through the drag shows brought to us by BA, Nathaniel, the Empowered, Tim McCraw, all the alter ego. That was like 4 alter egos right there for them. But they brought us. They joined our team last summer, and they brought us the alter ego drag shows. And so today I'm gonna share not only because these performances, I think, really speak to this moment, to this intention tonight, but also because I really felt called to share what we mean by our shows being a spell. And so the last show, Summer 11, we've had 3 shows so far, and the last one was a spell for breaking the curses of heteronormative, individualistic love that fuels capitalism. So each of these shows has a spell. Every artist puts their art on the alter ego stage, and this one was our Summer 11 show. Yeah, we got 20 performers. You heard that right. So this next spell is really liberating our voices, our bodies, our soft power, and it is going to be unique because it's a variety. So it's going to have much more than drag. I kind of accidentally kicked that off on the last show, which I thought I wasn't going to perform. Luna C was not going to perform at the last minute because these shows again are we're putting our art on the altar of the spirits. I was called to offer a song, which I'm going to play now, and the song it's a song that I loved when I was a teenager, and I remember I went to Catholic school, but it was a very like expansive Catholic school. I'm in San Francisco. Um, Not everybody was Catholic, so we had to bring to the class something that felt like God. And so this is a song that I brought to my class when I was 17 and that I sang at the Summer 11 show. So here is Lunacy. So many things I've got to tell you, but I'm afraid I don't know how. 'Cause there's a possibility that you look at me differently, love. Ever since the first moment I spoke your name, from then on I knew that by you being in my life, things were destined to change. 'Cause love, so many people use your name in vain. Love, those who have faith in you sometimes go astray. Love, through all the ups and downs, joys and hurts. Love, for better or worse, I still will choose you first. Many days I've longed for you, watching you, hoping for the chance to get to know you, longing for your kiss, for your touch, your feel, your essence, yeah. Many nights I've cried from the things you do, felt like I could die from the thought of losing you. I know that you're real, with no doubts and no fears and no questions. Love, so many people use your name in vain. Love, 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 love. Those who have faith in you sometimes go astray. Through all the ups and downs, the joys, the hurts, love. Better or worse, I still will choose you first. At first you didn't mean that much to me, but now you're here, all I see. The world is so brand new to me. what I say is how I feel, so believe it's true. You got to know I'm true. For the ups and downs, the joys and hearts, love, better or worse, I still will choose you first. So many people use your name in vain. Love. Those who have faith. I have to say that's a visibility practice all over again because it's so hard to watch and listen to without perfectionism and just yeah, like I said, I didn't plan to be in that show and I was a co-host with Tim McGraw and like that was like the day before um where my guides were like, you need to be in on this spell. You need to put your frequency into this spell. So much of my journey is about those like standards of love and relationships and the around the moment when I chose to divest from that intentionally and like the biggest decision that I made in my I don't know, one of the biggest decisions of my life. Around that time is when I had just met Kiki, I had just met Flo, I was just connecting with Midori as friends for the first time, and I had no idea that that this is where my journey was gonna lead, but I just trusted it. I just trusted, like, that was my prayer was that I was ready for my best life and that I was ready to be around people that saw me for me and that loved me just, like, without what I had to, like, give and be of service and, like, as such a, like, caregiver kind of person, and so I just trusted it, and I just trusted in continuing to connect with them, and, like, that we're here now is just, just proof, and that really is my testimony of what trusting in like, the feeling in my body and not being able to see everywhere that it would head to, of where that could lead me. So thank you. Thanks for receiving my testimony. And next up, we got another one. So um a little different vibe, but also not because it's all it was all in the same spell. We have Mistress Mimi.
In the silence, I come back to myself.
I didn't really put on the script to it. Midori, do you want to say anything after that? Give it up for Mistress Mimi.
I'm getting emotional because I think that just sums up like everything I've been feeling around, like, the Neptune represents the planet of like fantasy and films, movies, art, and that is all up to everyone's interpretation, and I think for me, like, my journey has always been about recognizing that there's no one that is going to really see my inner world the way that I do. And I think my whole life I've been longing for someone to see me, like I want someone to see me for the depth and the multiplicity and the multidimensionality of who I am. And I want them to like see my inner world. And while art is a peek into that, and I feel like it's such a brilliant way to translate my story, the biggest connection that I've felt lately has just been like with my trust and my spirits and my relationship to my spiritual practices. That, my healed and well ancestors, my guides, my spirits, people, the unseen that walk with me, they will always see me. And they do see my inner world in the ways that I don't think any human can. And I think once I released that desire and longing for that, I really feel like I was able to break free. And that was only through returning to myself, which is what is the message of that, the bell, and being like, when I come back to myself, when I come back to the silence, when I come back to my, like, who I am in solitude, like that is always like where I feel most myself. And plus I have a 12th house sun in Mercury. So I know that's not the case for everybody, but I think that's like my existential longing that I always delusionally thought was going to be met through a partner or through a contractual relationship or through even a collaboration or through a close friendship that I think I've like become whole because I know that now, that I see myself. And even when I can't see myself, my spirits see me, and y'all see me too. It's like, and I think, yeah, once I were really untangled from the desire of like anybody else seeing me besides from this relationship between my spiritual connection to whatever cosmology, some people love astrology for that reason and this connection to the planets. And for me, it really has been this connection to my spirits that's returned me home. So yeah, that's the context to that, to that piece. I think I'm supposed to go into the community update now. Is that what we're doing?
Yeah, I was going to invite Dr. Kiki if there's anything you want to say, if there's any words you want to give as the leader of our alter ego program, just feel free. And I'm going to drop the link in the chat for tickets to the show.
Sorry, trying to change my settings back to echo cancellation so I'm not making all these extra noises. But yes, I just want to take a moment, a breath for both of those performances, to be able to hold this ritual space with both of you and to see the ways that you are using your voices these days is like such an honor and a privilege to see the ways that y'all have both grown in that, and something that I feel really grateful for, that like as the vocal choir director person, like I don't have to hold that by myself, that is something that we're all experiencing and like on our own journeys with, and how it's so integral to this experience that we've been co-creating for Alter Ego. That the alter ego experience. Alter ego, if you're new to the word, the concept within at least our soft power universe, it's about connecting to a character or aspect of self that wants to be loved, liberated, and witnessed through soft power and creative expression. And so we've been on this 8-week journey to these alter egos. And as you've heard and seen, many of us have multiple alter egos. There isn't just like one particular facet of ourselves that we're expecting folks to connect with, that there's so many different of these spirits and alter egos that want to be expressed through us. And so this 8-week journey has been an opportunity for us to connect with one of those, to retrieve them, to alchemize them, to embody them, and now express them on the alter ego stage on December 14th. And so we've been sharing these nervous system practices and rituals through movement, alchemy, meditation, divination, trance journeys, storytelling, coaching, and all of the audio editing, visual editing tools and practices that we can possibly share through this 8-week journey to support the alter ego artists that self-nominated themselves for this experience. And I think that's what's so beautiful about this, is that yes, there's an application, but it's really because it's a placing yourself on this altar of your own spirits of creativity, and really offering yourself up, offering these creative expressions up for major transformation. The experience that I've had through the drag shows that BA was producing, the roller coaster of transformation that I've gone on this year, just by allowing myself to express these different stories and these different parts of myself, really led to this now 8-week curriculum for folks to self-nominate and put themselves and their art on display as an opportunity to connect deeper with themselves, to call in a major change and shift in frequency, and not shift out of authenticity, but to go deeper within themselves, to really figure out what is that truth, what is the authentic expression that wants to be seen and witnessed and shared with the world. And I really do believe this is how we are going to create the worlds that we dream of and that we talk about in movement spaces that dream of liberation, collective liberation. Because if we are able to pull something from our imagination and be able to materialize it in these 3 to 5 minute videos, then I truly believe that we can then take anything from our imagination and materialize that in our worlds. And that means collective resourcing, housing, food, shelter for all. And so these are just small practices, small rituals to connect with our creativity, our imagination, and our inner worlds, so that we can continue tapping into that muscle of creativity, to be able to create that in our local communities with our friends and families and comrades that also have this shared vision for liberation. So we're really, really excited to share this first cohort that has gone through this 8-week curriculum with the Soft Power team as co-facilitators. We are so proud of what we've already witnessed and experienced. And so to be able to share it with our larger audience and community and congregation is just, there's so much anticipation and excitement. So I hope y'all can join us. Check out the Give Butter link to be able to get your tickets and donate to the Cast Fund to support resourcing these artists. Every dollar counts. So thank y'all for being a part of this and sharing of your energy in these spaces, because it is felt in every other soft power space too.
Beautiful. Yeah, I am here to share the community update. Put my glasses as well. So this is just to give y'all an idea of what is happening in our Village in the Sky. But this is all these offerings are also just open to the public, but Village in the Sky is our virtual membership that's free to join. And it is to your benefit to join if you've been to at least one gathering, because there's also, we provide a Discord for community connection. There's a ability to add that's how we also send you email invites email email notifications when events are going live, and as well as members only gatherings. So what we have on calendar this week or this month is we have co-working every Wednesday from 11 to 12:30 p.m. That's a space where it's not a verbal engagement. You just pop on and pop off whenever you want. And that's really just a body doubling space to get done whatever you need to do. We have our full moon in Gemini writing circle by BA Nathaniel as they go by. And that's on Thursday. And that's at 9 a.m. to 10:30 in the morning Pacific. And that's a great space to just process any feelings. These lunar cycles are really, as you can see, we've been very emotional. And so I feel like we're building up towards this full moon. So it's a really great space to process and integrate information into the body, as well as share amongst a group of really sweet and kind humans to be witnessed in whatever you're going through. Next Sunday, we have the Alter Ego Variety, as Kiki has just shared, and that's going to be streamed here live, but we would love for y'all to just register, and so that we can send you communications as that day approaches. The following Monday, we have Soul Spark Activation, which is facilitated by me, and that's a space for expressive arts and divination. The following Monday, 12/22, we have Soul Spa with Siobhan Diores, which is a very restful space, guided meditation, Reiki, very, very tender hearted space. And then the last Monday of every month is the Village Member Social. And so that, like I had said earlier, is a members only space where we come together, we connect. There's a little bit more verbal interaction, as well as we do some spell casting via the Wishing Well, which is our virtual village space where we cast all our spells and send off our wishes for the next month. So yeah, that's what we got going on. We said we were going to take a break in December, and it was funny because Bonnie and I were texting back and forth. I was like, we just put everything ended up putting everything on the calendar because we're like, we love what we do. I need these spaces to stay regulated through this holiday season. So just know we're here, and we'll be back at Soft Power Hour the following in January for the first Monday. So I'm going to close this with a little prayer. I'm feeling a little tied. I think this episode felt very tender, and so I just want to honor and take a breath, just like re-regulate and say thank you for the vulnerability of my fellow founding artists, Kiki and Siobhan. Thank you all for being the friends, the collaborators, the soul family I've always dreamed of. Thank you for everybody who's joined us live and are replaying this, watching this again. Just really what's the main piece is coming through is around courage. May we stay courageous. May we continue to trust ourselves. May we break the binds of hyper-independence and root into our interconnectedness. May we always remember our choice and our agency to choose and change our minds. And may we know that all of our wishes and dreams and worlds that we see materializing are possible. And so it is. Thank you so much for joining. Pose for the ancestors? Is that what we're doing? see y'all next time.